is May 11th, Wednesday, 2022. We're interviewing Jennifer Wrenn with the BE collection. First of all, I want to make sure I have the spelling of your name correct. So I have Jennifer, Jennnifer.
Uh-huh.
Okay, good. And Wrenn, Wrenn.
Right.
Good. Okay, so that's good. Now the next thing we need is your occupation.
Well, I had several, and I think that they all kind of converged
Right.
in the end, because my father was a photographer, so I kind of started out trying to do news photography. He was a newspaper photographer.
Mm-hmm.
So and I started taking pictures at age 12, I guess. And so that was one of my better jobs, was working for a weekly newspaper. But
Did you work with your father?
oh no.
No. Well, I saw a photograph of him, really excellent photograph.
Yeah. We had a love-hate relationship.
Okay.
So he wasn't instrumental in any of my jobs, in acquiring any of my jobs. So eventually I became a public librarian, and during that time I also was a publisher with Carolyn Weathers for 10 years, I guess. So
did you publish?
Pardon me?
What did you publish?
We published lesbian fiction and poetry, a couple anthologies. Yeah, I did most of the tech side of that, the typing it up and designing the covers and that sort of thing.
So you're artistic.
Yeah.
Through that, right?
That was my main. I really wanted to be a writer, artist, maybe photojournalist, kind of, but none of it really worked out.
How come?
So, how come?
There's still time.
Well, a lot of the photography, there's extreme, especially in the 70s and 80s, there was extreme sexism in photography. Some women are able to navigate that, but I never was. And as far as my art career, I got in shows. I did get in shows, and but I never got a one-person show, and I kind of had a fear of people, so I really wasn't very good at the type of promotion that you need to do. So that didn't work out. But the public librarian thing did.
Were you aware of your sexuality at that time, that you were trying to show?
Yeah. Yeah, I knew I was a lesbian in high school, but I didn't really do anything about it. I tried to go into gay bars. Sometimes if they served food, I could get in there. But so I used to try and do that a lot. Searching out women. And finally, when I was 18 and I left home, I went to a YWCA because I figured, well, that's all women, right? So that I went to college. It was kind of like a dormitory for me, and I went to a community college a few blocks away, and that was when I had my first affair.
When you were at the Y?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Where were you born?
San Diego.
So have you always stayed in California?
No, I did go to China for 4 years. And I did live up north of California, but not outside of California, just China.
What brought you to China?
Well, I retired from being a librarian in 2013 when I think I was 64. And I had to do it, I think, for health reasons. My hands were giving out. I have osteoporosis.
Mm.
And it was actually the carpal tunnel kind of stuff. The things that they made us do, and they switch because of economics. They switched to a 440, and the 12-hour shifts were too much physically for me. So when I retired, I didn't have much money because I didn't, I was there for like maybe 18 years that they counted, and so that doesn't give you much of a pension.
Did you have a
So
retirement plan?
pardon me?
Did you have a retirement plan as
Yeah,
part of your?
that was the retirement plan, but it was minimal,
Uh-huh.
about $2,000 a month.
Mhm.
So I had researched countries. I wanted to get out of the country for a while. And at the end, I decided that China was really the best for me. There was a lot of things happening in Europe at the time. And especially Hungary. I think there was some kind of mud thing that came, and pollution. And anyway, at the time, China seemed pretty good, and I visited Hong Kong, and I really liked Hong Kong.
Did you? Huh.
So yeah, I loved it. So in fact, it reminded me of San Diego in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So I did try mainland China, and it was just perfect. It was right for me.
So did
And
you go on your own? Did you go?
yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I didn't know anybody. I
Good for
was
you.
really
What an
scared.
adventure.
Yeah, it was. I was really scared. But the Chinese people are so incredibly welcoming.
Are they?
And yeah, and it was almost like being an American. I sort of had, it's like white privilege, an American. They
Right.
couldn't touch me. Nobody would do anything to me because there would be embassy problems,
Mhm.
which I didn't quite realize that at first. I
Mhm.
thought, gee, these are really pretty simple, for me to navigate. As far as safety, I mean, I could go out at 1 and 2 in the morning. It could be pitch black. I could be in an alley. I mean, nothing.
That's
Uh,
great. That's something.
yeah,
Did you know that? Huh.
yeah,
How nice to go from that violence into a place where you were really revered.
yeah.
Yeah.
People were exceptionally nice to me. And
What made you return to the United States?
well, I met Sharon Raphael
In China?
online, and yeah, I
Oh,
kind
you
of
met her
got,
online. She was
yeah,
here, you were in China?
I was in China, yeah, and at first I thought I was fine being by myself, but
Mhm.
in the public library, you really meet a lot of people, and you're around people a lot. And I started to get extremely lonely at about the fourth year.
Right.
And so then when I met her, things just clicked, and I wanted to be with her. So
Great. You
that was
never
it.
met her before you met her?
No, and our paths probably just crossed so closely. But no, never met her. So anyway, yeah, so that's why I left. So anyway, I got in touch with her via email, and then we did WeChat, which is what China uses for like a FaceTime
Uh-huh.
thing, video chat.
That's a really good story, actually. We met in the operating room at LA County Hospital, so.
Ah, oh, and I guess I was telling you about the books
Right.
Carolyn Weathers and I published.
Mhm.
She probably told you a lot about them, right?
Just go ahead and do your own interview,
Okay, well,
Put it together a little bit differently, so that's
okay.
interesting.
Well, I did have a background in graphic arts, and I was thinking of, combining photography and my artistic side and go into advertising.
Mhm.
But my personality or mental fears or whatever made that really impossible. I it just was not something I could do. I mean, I could, if I were in an office by myself, I could do the work,
Uh-huh.
but I could not do the interview or any of the other kinds of things where I deal with people.
What stopped you? Were you anxious or?
It's a complicated thing.
Uh,
I mean, it goes back to childhood trauma and stuff like that. I mean, I've been in therapy most of my life.
really?
So, yeah, because I get depressed and have gotten depressed ever since I was a child. So it's not something new. Uh, it's a constant battle.
Were you
Um,
physically abused as a child?
um, my father was a verbal abuser. So it wasn't anything physical, which is one of the reasons why people don't really think that they're being abused when they're being abused, because, you think of it as a
Part of your
physical.
life, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you don't realize what it's doing to you, and what it's like to get really frightened of people if they do something or say something that happens to be a trigger. And then you can just like fall apart.
So what's the best, most interesting adventure you've had in your life so far?
Well, it was probably China.
It was probably China, right? I can
Oh
understand.
yeah, China. Yeah.
You could be
Yeah.
a travel
Just,
agent for China.
huh?
You could be a travel agent for China. No, this is
Well,
what's fun about this is we learn things we don't know. I didn't know that, did you? So
yeah.
makes me look at
Um,
China differently.
yeah. People look at it through the political.
Plus,
Uh,
everything I order comes from China. It's made in China, so it's very industrial there. I can tell that.
yeah. Yeah, it is.
Good products too, actually.
Yeah. Um, well, when you're there, the export business is so different because the products that you usually get there are often our products. you know.
Right.
Uh,
Is that true? Well, this is
a
for
lot of
no, just ask her some questions. Marge is a traveler. She did all her traveling before we met, which is good.
yeah. Well,
I found that people are the same the world over. It's the politics that are different.
oh yeah, yeah.
It doesn't have to do anything with the person on the street.
No, it doesn't. Really doesn't. The Chinese people are very gracious.
That-
Yeah. When I said I was going to live in China, and even when I would come back, because I had a visa that I had to border hop, and I had to come here to get my paycheck and all that stuff. When people found out I was living in China, they were furious. I mean, I had the most incredible reaction to
Really?
people. Oh God. And this one woman said, what's it like? And her partner said, don't ask her that. Um,
They will
and
I eat a cat every day.
oh my gosh, I mean, the hatred toward China was just unbelievable. So, but I didn't have that.
No, you went there. You had an open heart, so that worked.
Yeah,
You were ready
yeah,
for change. It's good.
yeah. It really changed my perspective on a lot of things. Yeah.
So, do you have dreams for your future?
Dreams for the future. Well, I would like to finish my memoir.
Uh-huh. That's good.
Um, yeah, but I just don't know. Um, I don't have much of a plan. Right now it's kind of like I'm just trying to fight, you know, what this aging business is, you know, and keeping myself healthy.
Uh-huh. So has osteoporosis been a real struggle in your life as you age?
Yeah, but I didn't really have to take, heavy medication until now.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I don't have brittle bones, and I've fallen many times without breaking something. So,
That's really good.
but yeah, the doctors always instill this fear in you that you could get a fractured hip. I think that's what they're worried about and stuff
I'm
like that.
asking you because Marge is an osteoporosis specialist.
Ah,
So I thought maybe you could get a little
my
side.
knees have bone on bone,
Mhm.
And when I was in China, the weather is, oh my God, it's so awful. Even though I was supposed to be in a city that was fairly good, um, it would get so cold that my left hip would start to hurt. And I haven't had that at all here. Not at all. So,
That's good.
yeah. And I was thinking about knee surgery, but it doesn't hurt when I go up and down stairs. I mean, the amount of times that it's hurting is so few. And I thought maybe I should not just jump into surgery. I mean,
I was gonna say, you don't have total knee surgery until you simply can't stand your knee.
yeah.
Don't do it because it's very difficult. The positive responses are pretty small. And if you do it, you don't happy that you did it for at least a year.
Wow.
So it's a big thing in your life. Doesn't,
Yeah.
it's not to be taken easily.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Well, there's a few thoughts on the knee. I
Right.
can appreciate that personally myself.
best avoidance.
Yeah, I thought about that. I mean, I read about one woman who did it just because her family had osteoporosis and she was worried about the future. But I thought, wait, that doesn't sound quite right.
No,
So then I saw something else that said, like you're saying, don't
it's
do it
the
unless you
last
have to.
choice,
Yeah,
not to be entered into rapidly.
yeah,
The parts will last, but they don't work quite right, I think.
yeah. Hmm.
And maybe you don't have osteoporosis in your knees, maybe you have osteoarthritis.
Well, no, I am taking medication for osteoporosis. They told me my bone density was 0.2, which is supposed to be fairly high. Now it's gotten down after 2 years on this medicine I had to inject twice a day. So that's Forteo.
Mhm.
And now I'm on Boniva, and I'm in the what do they call it, pre-osteoporosis. I can't think of the name of I can't think of the word they use, but anyway, it's
Well, that's serious medication.
yeah. So
Hopefully it's helping you.
That plus standing on your feet.
yeah, I do
Start to
stand
do
a lot. My watch tells me if I
Yeah,
do
they
it
do.
That's
enough.
good. I'm bad at that. Like sitting down, we're sitting down, but we're sitting on a desk that I could stand at. So I don't have to sit, but I'm more comfortable sitting, so I have to work at that.
When I was at the library for a while, there's a lot of sitting and library work, and I did the the computer up so that I would stand while I was doing the computer.
That's great.
I did that toward the last part of my career. That was good. Yeah.
So what's your favorite fairy tale?
Um, oh gee.
First one comes up.
I should know that right off the bat since I've done, reading fairy tales forever. Um,
What's your favorite?
yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't have a favorite. I can't think of um,
Pick one.
maybe something that's transformative. uh, well, there's Aesop's fables. I don't know. I can't think of any.
What's your favorite story or movie? Disney movie.
Oh, I
It's a
just
story.
saw Beverly Hills Chihuahua.
I don't know that. Was it good?
Oh God, I loved it.
Did you?
I really did. Well, we have a Chihuahua,
Uh,
so yeah, I love that. So it has a good transformative thing, which I like. Yeah.
what's the name of it again?
Beverly Hills Chihuahua.
Okay, I'll remember that.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a time when your sexuality interfered with your connection with a job or another person? That you failed to disclose it? Or they
Well,
couldn't
I've
follow
always
up?
been worried about that.
Have you?
Yeah, and I I'm hesitant sometimes to be out of the closet. I mean, I pretty much am. I was pretty much in the library, but not completely. When I was living at the YWCA, it was clear that I moved in with this woman who was living there, and I got ostracized. And, so um, that was a horrible experience for 2
Yeah.
weeks. No one would even look at me or acknowledge that I was
Right.
in the room. I was totally invisible.
Hmm.
Oh my God. And then after 2 weeks, I guess they got tired of not seeing me.
Rude.
And yeah, and
Being rude and ignorant.
they acted as though nothing had happened.
Huh.
It was chilling.
Sounds
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
Did your parents know you were lesbian?
Pardon me?
Did your parents know you were a lesbian?
Well, yes, they did.
Mhm.
I can't say that I really came out to them, but it was kind of clear after a while. I didn't hide it.
Mhm.
But I didn't really go through that coming out to them that you read about, that people talk about. It
It's
just,
always different with everyone, I think. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. One of my first affairs was a English teacher of mine, English lit teacher, and she was having a hysterectomy, and she asked me to come to stay overnight at her place, and I was staying at my parents at the time. I don't know why I didn't have my own apartment, but it might have been in between apartments. But anyway, so I said I was going to go and stay overnight, and my father immediately accused me of being a lesbian, and I denied it
Mhm.
at that time.
Well,
I
I
guess
think
I was
considering your
nice,
father was the best thing to do.
huh?
Considering who your father was, denying it to him was the best technique, best strategy,
Yeah,
because insecure people like that tend to get carried away.
right. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. He was not open to very many things,
Mhm.
so so I left.
So you went to stay with that woman, your teacher?
Yeah, and
Mhm.
then we were together for 2 years. Yeah, and then she and I moved up to the Bay Area, and that's where I got my bachelor's degree in philosophy. And I was going to be an English major and try and write, but I ended up going into philosophy and loved it. And then when I came back down to San Diego, I got a degree in graphic arts. And that helped me a lot with the book printing. And
Mhm.
yeah, I worked in the darkroom when I was at San Diego State.
Mhm.
I really liked black and white darkroom work.
Do you?
Yeah, in fact, I just bought a contact printer, which is considered an antique, but I wanted to do some blueprints and what they call sun prints. You know, you make your own emulsion and you expose it to the sun, cameraless photography.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I really miss publishing. I mean, I did publish Sharon's book. I have it here.
Mhm.
This was Sharon's book that how does this go? Like that?
Coming out the emergence of the movement lesbian. Huh.
Yeah. I designed it and did the whole thing in a program through Amazon Books. They have
Really?
a Create Space independent publishers.
Hmm. So what's in the photograph? Who's in the photograph?
It's a march, and
I see. Okay.
she's in it. The one on the back, she's right here.
Ah, that's fun. When was that published?
2019.
Mhm.
Oh my God, it was so much work.
Wow.
Because you know you have to do an index, and I'd never done an index. And, oh boy.
So in closing, we have a final question of if you knew that you were going to have your life come to an end in a few days, how would you like to be remembered?
Oh. Well, I guess I'd like to be remembered as a lesbian publisher. Probably that's what I'm most proud of, are the books that we published. And for my artwork, yeah. I do have some paintings I did some male nudes. Believe it or not, people often ask me, why did you do paintings of male nudes instead of female nudes? And I think what I feel is that the female body has been used throughout art history, and I really didn't want to do that.
I see.
So I was interested in the nude form, so I did paintings of male nudes, and they have some at the One archives. I left my paintings to them, so I'd like my artwork to be out there somehow.
That's an interesting statement, huh? Very introspective. I like that. You were really out there. And I'm impressed with that.
Yeah. I'm actually, you can Google my name.
Really
In
good.
fact, the funny thing was I told somebody, I can't remember where my articles have been published, because I did some in a UCLA newspaper, student newspaper. I had some articles published and some, other little things. And this guy found them for me.
Wow, that's great, huh?
Yeah, a whole list. And I thought, wow, all that. And then I found this brochure I had many moons ago when I was trying to be a professional photographer. And I actually found that right in here, I have all these places where I published photographs.
Really? Ah, great. Good for you.
I'm like, what?
That's the Clothespin Project? What's on the front of that book?
Oh, this is Power and Energy. I was trying to, and this picture of me with,
I think you sent us that picture, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
That's a great picture.
Yeah, I was trying to make a theme sort of story thing.
Good.
So I got meter readings, just as a joke, kind of a joke. Yeah. So.
Well, we'll say goodbye. Thank you.
All right.
We'll hear
Thank
from you. Have a good day.
Bye.